back with another video using the Zulu palette. Like I said, I really did want to use a couple of these shades in different ways throughout the week just so you guys can see what color combinations I come up with. And last night I was thinking of what other colors I could use because I really want to use all of the colors in this palette. So for today's look, I thought that I would do something along the lines with the pink shades. I really want to use this color a little bit more than I did on the last video. So I think this one is the main one that I'm going to use, and the pop of color will be the rose shade. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. I already went and did my foundation, my powder, contour, and everything. I also did my brows. So now the only thing that I have to do is prep my eyelids and start with the eyeshadow. I'm actually going to put my hair back a little because I feel like it's bothering me up here. So to prime my eyelids, I'm going to take the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer and I'm going to go ahead and put it all over my lid, but I'm also going to put it under my brow just to kind of clean it up a little. So I'm going to take the concealer and run it all throughout my lid and also a little bit down my brow. Now I'm just going to grab a nice flat brush and go ahead and just push this concealer in. And I like this color because it's really light, so it really makes all the colors of the eyeshadows pop. So I'm just going to take the end of the brush and just clean up my brows. And I'm also going to take the concealer and kind of take it out a little bit just in case I'm going to do a wing liner or something. I'm not really sure about that, but I'm going to take it out anyway just to be prepared. I'm going to set it with the Coty Airspun loose face powder. I love this stuff and I also use it underneath my eyes to set my concealer. So I'm going to take a little bit of this on just a really nice fluffy brush and I'm going to go ahead and put it all over that concealer. Alright, so I zoomed y'all in a little bit so you can see what we're going to do on the eyes. So now that the eyes are nice and set, I'm going to dive into the beautiful Zulu palette. I'm going to start off with the yellow because it's just like a beautiful transition color, I feel, and it's going to go perfect with this one as well. I'm going to grab a nice fluffy brush and I'm going to dive right into that yellow and just start working this on my crease. So I'm just going to go back and forth in windshield wiping motions just to make sure that the color is nice and blended. And as I go up, I'm going to lose pressure on my hand so that way it kind of blends by itself. To apply the next color, I'm going to take my favorite Morphe brush, which is the M433. This brush is so perfect for like the outer corners or just that crease because it's a really nice, precise blending brush. I don't know if you guys can tell by the shape of it. It really is really perfect for when it comes to like this area right here of the eye. I'm going to dive into this really nice color. So I'm going to grab a little bit of that on my brush and I'm going to start working this on the outer corner of my eye. Really want this color to pop, so I am going to add a lot of it. I'm going to go and add a couple of coats to it. I'm going to add my lid color, and after that, if I think I need a little bit more darkness or a little bit more depth on the outer corner, then I'll do that. I'm just going to go ahead and grab this shade. I am going to wet my brush. I'm going to put a little bit of primer water from Smashbox, put it right on my crease, and bring it down. This color is so pretty. Now I'm going to take the same brush that I grabbed when I did that pink color and I'm going to put a little bit more on the outside because I feel like I lost a little bit once I added that shimmer. And once again, taking the same brush that I used for the yellow shade, I'm going to go ahead and blend those two colors. When it comes to wearing vibrant or just dark colors or any colors in general, you really want to go back and forth with your colors. That way you don't lose any of the pigment on any of them and you can actually see all the colors that you applied. So I didn't know if I wanted to use a liner or not, but I'm thinking of using this color as a liner. I'm going to try to wet my brush. I'm going to use my brush that I use for my brows and I'm going to wet it a little bit with, again, the Smashbox primer water, and let's see how it goes. If not, I'm going to just try to cover up with something else. But I'm going to wet my brush and just dive into this color, and let's see what happens. I am going to wing it out a little bit, so I am going to go ahead and just take it out. This color is so pretty alongside with the pinks and all the orangey shades that are in there. Alright, so basically this is what the eyeliner looks like. Now I'm going to clean it up with a little bit of concealer, and I'm going to take my same flat brush that I used to clean around my brows and the same concealer. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it kind of looks a little pink right there because of the eyeshadow. So I'm going to take my beauty blender now and just kind of blend that out a little bit. I feel like I can still see a little bit of that pink, and I do not like that. So I'm going to take my powder foundation and just put it right underneath. That way it can hide it, and I don't have to use any liquid. For the lower lash line, I'm going to take that same yellow that I used on top and put it right underneath here. And just to give it a little bit more definition, I'm going to take the brown shade that comes in this palette, which is this one right here. I'm going to run it right on top of that yellow, but this time I'm going to put it closer to my lash line and not all over like I did the yellow. For my lashes today, I'm going to grab my Eyelure in Vegas Nay and Platinum Princess. This is what they look like. I'm going to grab the right one first, and these normally do come a little bit bigger than my eye size, so I'm just going to take a little bit off of it. And I always cut the outside. You never want to cut the inside of the lash because otherwise you're going to mess it up and it's going to look too straight. So once I cut a little bit off of it, I'm going to measure it and see if it fits my eye. So once I went ahead and trimmed them, I'm now going to put my lash glue on them, and the one that I like to use is the House of Lashes glue, and this one comes in the clear. I'm going to put a pretty nice amount of it on the lashes. I like to put most of the glue on the outside, like on the outer corners, because I feel like that's normally where the lashes start to come off during the day. But if you put a little bit more on the outside, then it will kind of prevent that, and they will last a lot longer, and you don't have to worry about them coming off or looking weird throughout the day. Just going to set them aside and let them dry for a little bit while I go ahead and prep my actual eyelashes for the falsies. While my lashes are still drying and my mascara is drying, I'm going to apply my highlighter now, and I'm going to take Champagne Pop from Becca. If you've been watching me and you follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, whatever, then you know that Champagne Pop is my favorite. I'm going to very lightly place it on my cheekbone. Once my lashes start to kind of look like this, where the glue is almost completely dry, that's when I decide to apply them. And I feel like this is really a lot easier than when they're really wet, because once you put them on, they're not going to move, and it's a lot easier for you to glue down the corners. I like to put them on my tweezers right in the center. And I always like to either put my mirror down here or look down, tilt my head a little, and just place them in the middle first. Make sure that they are on there. Once they are in the middle, it's really easy just to glue down the corners. What I like to do next is just grab my fingers and squeeze the falsies with my real lashes, just to make sure that you can't see where either of them are. And I also like to kind of push them up, that way you can actually see them and they're not just like laid down. Now for the inner corner of my eyes, I feel like it's a little bit dull. I want it to have a little bit of sparkle in there. I'm going to add a little bit of Champagne Pop in the inner corner of my eye just to make it pop a little bit more. For my lips, I'm going to take the I Love Sarai times ColourPop collection in 951. I'm going to take my all-nighter spray and just go ahead and mist my face. That way everything stays in place and doesn't move throughout the day. Alright guys, so that basically completes this look. Give it a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it and you like what we created here. I feel like this look is honestly really simple and super easy to create. Again, I am going to be doing maybe like 2 or 3 more videos using this palette so you guys can see different combinations. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe. That way you won't miss out on the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.